The spark of creation. That's the whole thing here. Today's talk is called The Certain Way of Living and Thinking. The certain way. C-E-R-T-A-I-N. The certain way. That there is a certain way of living and thinking if you wish to manifest certain things. There is a certain way to manifest anything and everything. It's promised. I believe that with all my heart. There is no chance that I cannot manifest that which I want. Well, that's not true. I guess I cannot manifest being 30 again. But if I wanted to learn how to play a musical instrument, there is a certain way to do that. Now, do I want to invest that time and energy into doing it? That's another story. But there is a certain way. If I want to sing a song, I've proven that I can sing a song when I thought I could never sing a song. I said, I can't sing a song. And years ago, David's old apartment in New York, I remember one day he's playing one of his songs, and I pretended to sing it. He said, just hear the note and sing it. And then see it across the room. Just hear the note, send the note across the room. I did. It was on perfect pitch. It was, it was right there. And I could hear it. He said, there you go. See, you can sing. I was like, oh. When I stopped telling myself a story that I can't sing, I could sing. And this past summer's retreat, I'm not going to sing today, but this past summer's retreat, no. But thank you. Go to YouTube. I'm on YouTube. This past summer's retreat, I did a standard for the first time ever. I sang, I gotta be me, imagine. And but I did it on pitch. People were moved. I was present, and I had a good time. And from what everybody else said, they had a good time too. I don't think that many people would lie to me and say, oh, you were good, Shawn. No, it wasn't that. I mean, I did a good job. Because there is a certain way in order to be able to bring that about. There is a certain way to bring about health. There is a certain way to bring about wealth. There is a certain way to bring about harmony. There is a certain way, and that power is within each and every one of us, and it starts with the spark of creation. As I said last week, I was talking about Wallace Wattles' book, The Science of Getting Rich, and he talks about the certain way. But he also talks that we must leave the belief in a competitive world and enter into a creative one. You hear me? We must leave the belief in a competitive world and enter into a creative one. You see, God's not competing. Truth isn't competing. Principle isn't competing for anything. Not for a job, not for a spouse, not for time, not for money, not for anything. There is no competition. There is creativity. The really successful people in the world didn't compete. They took a divine idea and went with it. They absolutely took a divine idea. This job, there was another person up for this job along with me, but it wasn't his job. It was mine. And I knew it from the first phone call, and it had nothing to do with whether he was good or bad. It was mine. And I just knew it, and so I showed up as if it were mine. And here we are today, 10 and a half years later. We are together doing this. And David used to say, how do you know that? Because he was, I didn't go around bragging this job is mine, but I was quite confident. He didn't want to bring me down. I don't want to, if you don't get it, you might. He kept his mouth shut about that one. And thank goodness, it was very kind of him. And but he also didn't understand how I knew. And I think there are just some things you know. There are just some things you know in the world. I remember one said this a few years ago. So on Saturday, I thought, I am due to receive $10,000. How do I know that? How did I know that? And Sunday morning, I walked in here, and somebody doing hospitality handed me a check for $10,000. I didn't realize it was for the church. But nonetheless, I received $10,000 within 24 hours of knowing I'm about to get $10,000. There are just some things I know, and I don't know how I know, and I don't worry about how I know. It's the spark of creation within me that begins to think, I would like this. I was afraid to call Julia and say, would you sing at our church? Would you come up here? Because David had run into Julia and said, why don't you come spend the weekend at the house? And David said, maybe she'll sing. And I said, I don't know her that well. How can I ask her? Well, you know how I asked her? I picked up the phone. I said, I'm Julia Shawn Moninger. I'm David Friedman's partner. Oh, yeah, hi. I said, I'd like you come up and sing at the church. Oh, okay.
Wow.
And then I said, I'd like these 2 songs. And she said, oh, that's early in the morning. And, she said, but okay, I haven't sung Spark of Creation in a long time. I might need some lyrics in front of it. But and then David wrote and said, do you have charts and stuff? She said, yeah. And I ignored the note she put in there. A quiet ballad might be nice. And I didn't respond to that because that's not what I wanted. I wanted this. And she didn't find it. And we're having a lovely time because of a spark of creation, a divine thought that says, I would like this. I don't necessarily know if I'll get it, but I can pick up the phone and ask. I don't know what I'll get, but I know I won't get it if I don't ask. I'm pretty much guaranteed. I was having a conversation the other day with somebody who was talking about, it seems like all their life, they're told they're doing it wrong. And I thought about it. This is a person who's had some success in life. And I thought about it, and I thought, you are doing it wrong. If you're not manifesting what you want, you're doing it wrong. You're not doing it in the certain way, which is maddening to us. Because sometimes it seems like we're doing everything we're supposed to do, and we're still not getting it. Whatever it is, it's still not coming in from the formless into the formed. Well, yeah, you're doing it wrong then. If it's not coming into the form from the formless, you're doing it wrong. And we can throw one royal fit with God, with ourselves, with the world, whatever. You know, I know I'm doing it right. Well, do you see it? Do you see it in front of you? If you don't, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it right to see what you do see in front of you. But if you're not seeing what it is you want to manifest, because I believe it is possible to manifest. And it starts in the formless. It starts with that spark of creation, a thought. I would like to have this. I would like to know. And I'd like to have this. Why? I'll tell you why. To feel a certain way. I want to know what it feels like to have success at this, whatever this is. I want to know what it feels like. Now, some of us are just afraid of that. You know, I'm afraid it won't feel as good as I thought it would. I'm afraid of whatever. So we don't put even the work into it. Others put a lot of hard work into it, but clearly not the right, I don't know, I'm spitting all over the place. Clearly not the right hard work in order to manifest what it is we want. Because see, if I'm trying to do it on my own, if I'm relying on my own mind and not getting mentors and not praying and not, chances are I'm not going to manifest. I might get the thing, but I won't get the feeling. And odds are I won't even get the thing. I'm going to read something to you. It comes from the Holy Spirit's interpretation of the New Testament. It's my favorite book. And it's 1 John chapter 3. And it says here, the awareness of God is an awareness that is pure and looks on only that which is wholly true. This awareness is within you. It is the core of what you are. It is an operation as God now. However, you're not aware of your Godness or your God awareness because you have allowed that which is false to be held in your mind as true. Do we hear that? You have allowed that which is false to be held in your mind as true. So we've been telling ourselves stuff that isn't true. We're saying, oh, but that has to be true. But it isn't. But it has to be. Because it's the only way I've thought of it. So it has to be true. And I'm going to keep plugging away at a way that isn't true, even though it isn't working. It isn't working for the manifestation in the way I wish to see it. He goes on to say, this is what is meant by purify yourself. You must make the decision to release all that is not true from the mind, because that which is not true is false. And so, It is an obstacle to the total awareness of truth. And so if I am fighting to make the untrue true, I miss out on my demonstration. I miss out on my manifestation. I miss out on the revelation of the certain way in which to manifest. I miss out on the certain way. I've had so many manifestations in my life of just what I like to call amazing things, because I knew I didn't know how to make this come about. I knew it's possible, but I don't know how. So I'm not going to tell God, I'm not going to tell myself, and I'm not going to tell you how this has to happen. But I will tell myself, I'll tell God, and I'll tell you, it's possible that it can. With my background, there's nothing to tell me I should be living the life I live today. There's nothing from my childhood to tell me I should be living the life I live today. And I live a great life. It's not without conflict, but all the conflict is in my resistance. Every bit of my conflict is a result of my resistance to my good. It's when I suddenly think, okay, I got it from here, God, thank you. And it's not that, it's pick up willingness again. Pick up the willingness to say, wait a minute, it's possible. It's possible. There is something here that can defy all odds. There's something here that can make the impossible possible. It's a spark. Just a little flicker of light. The seed, the mustard seed, faith, the size of a mustard seed that said, wait a minute, it's possible to have a great life. And it may not be these conditions that I had previously thought that will make the great life. It might be something else. I'm going to open up to the something else. I'm not going to keep throwing a fit with God. I'm not going to keep throwing a fit with myself. I'm not going to keep throwing a fit with all these people who aren't doing it my way. That's all of you. That's all of them, whoever them are. I'm not going to keep throwing a fit. I've got to get still. Just get still. And no possibility. And know that it is possible to be assured that the impossible is possible. Can you imagine that? That the impossible in your life is possible? The things that you could fly, that you could run faster than you've ever run, that you could make more money than you've ever made, that what the doctor diagnosed as sickness within you could disappear like that, that a mental disorder you suddenly could become sane entirely, that your family could be kind where before they had not been, that your spouse, your former spouse, or the one before that could be your friend, that you could love your mother and your father in ways you had not known, and even better, you could love yourself in a way you had not before known. You could see the truth of yourself in that mirror. You could hear your voice in that mirror. And you'll find out your voice is the same as God's voice. Whether anybody else in the room hears your voice, you can hear it. Where there seems to be no love, there is love. Where there seems to be no peace, there is peace. Where there seems to be no good, there is only good. Would you defy the laws that tell you you can't succeed and give in to the laws that say success is already here? Just ask. Just ask and give way for it. And rise up into the skies of your mind and give thanks that all good is possible now. Would that be okay? And you'll go through the conflict within your mind that says no, but over says yes, no, but yes, and let yes win. Yes, it is possible that there is unlimited good. It's available for each and every one of us now. It's available for everyone out there I like and everyone I don't like. It's okay that the people I don't like have their good. That's part of the certain way. Part of the certain way is it's okay that the people I don't like have their good. It's okay that the people I fear have their good. Because let me tell you something. They'll be much more likable if they have their good. And there'll be nothing to fear about them if they have their good. And there'll be nothing to fear about me if I have my good. There'll be nothing to dislike if I have my good. Would you go ahead and say, I'm going to substitute the false for the true. Today I'm open to the truth because the truth is so on my side. And there's unlimited good for me. And so it is.